All right, another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast, famous for uncomfortable intros. And here we go again. I'm your host, Brent Goebel, a host, joined by Tyler Thomas and Brennan, who is going to read the lineup for us.
Oh, that's a great intro, man. Okay, so we had my dad's boyfriend, Rafa Cabral, in goal, and Justin Glad, Quinton, Junca, and Catranis. Double pivot in Anelli and Ojeda. Gozo on the outside with Diogo on the other side, with Luna right smack dab in the middle, and Piol at the tip. Do I need to say the bench
Very
too?
good,
Or are we
man.
good?
That was excellent. Excellent work,
Thank you.
my young Padawan.
So I don't know how you don't look at this lineup and go, what are we doing on the back line? We got a left back playing center back. We got a right back. We got our center back playing right back. The only person in his right position is Catranis. And then Quinton probably is in his best position. But did you guys look at that and go, oh, we're in trouble?
No, because looking at that, Catranis is going to be that winger style, so they're just going to pivot to a three-man back line, and if you do that, Jay Glad is still in slightly center back position, just on the right side, Quinton actually in the full center, and Junqua being on the left side of that three. So it makes sense because Catranis is going to be moving up the field pretty aggressive against these guys.
Yeah, but is Junca a center back?
No, but when Catranis runs up, he's a better option on that left wing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Kobe Henry's injured. Brian Vera was injured. He was out. And they haven't had the courage or thought enough of some of those center backs that are playing for the Monarchs, Zach Farnsworth, to bring them up and give them a shot. I wasn't too worried seeing Justin Glad out at right back because I thought that he might be capable, but as it turns out, man, he got spun around like a top. I thought I was going to get dizzy from watching him spin around. Jaden Nelson just worked him over on that right side. And listen to the commentators. They're like, Pop, do something, Papa. Switch somebody out for 5 minutes. Switch it up on them because they are
Give him
just
some help.
give him some help. Make Jaden think about what he's doing because it was just murder over
Now,
there.
was it as bad as that game last year when Kansas City came to town and Brody
Almost.
was just getting spun around left and right?
Oh man,
It was not that bad,
no,
right?
no.
Oh, it was
Wasn't bad.
almost. It was Vancouver. Vancouver should have been up 3-0 by that third goal. Their first goal in the 20th minute. They had a couple. They had one at the first one in the 13th minute. Jaden got down to the end line, sent the ball back in, and it deflected awkwardly off one of the players, and then Cabral had to come out and luckily saved it. And then he had the breakaway that was just a beautiful pass and spun Glad right into the ground. He was frozen, and if the pass is, I don't know, inch forward or something, and was it Ocampo or somebody? The ball got under his feet, and luckily Cabral came out and saved it. RSL was super lucky not to have had the doors blown off in a half an hour on that game. A lot of it just kept coming down that right side. I mean, it did get better in the second half. I think
Well,
Jaden.
and did you see the tactical switch that happened to cause that?
No, explain.
So Gozo started coming back, and he was kind of shoving. I love that kid. Like I'm just watching that game, and I'm like, who's the DP here? Right? Like, where's our DP? He wasn't showing up. Luna tried a lot of stuff, but didn't have a great game.
Well, Luna, I think when you are leaving him on an island and getting him the ball and watching the games, Luna is, when he gets the ball, there's either a teammate like right next to him stepping over him, or there's a teammate like 15 yards away. Like, figure out how you're going to support Diego Luna when he gets the ball so he can play off people and move forward, because RSL is incredibly dangerous when they're busting forward. And you're absolutely right. Gozo was the best player on the team. I mean, Diego's the best player at the moment, but he had the best game because he was allowed to run roughshod down that right side and really showed that there's going to be some challenges there. How's Mark Zook going to get on the field? How's
Well, he's got a DP spot he can fill. Apparently the left side is open.
Yeah.
I don't think we went down the left side but like 3 times. And then Diogo just pulled it back and passed it around. And I was like, he's not pushing for anything right now. I do not know how he fits into our team long term. I'm really confused with him right now.
I am absolutely confused. I made a point to watch him to try and keep an eye on him, and he looks like he's just like the ball gets down into the corner there, and so he's over there by the player. He's in the vicinity. He makes the point to be in the vicinity.
Yeah, he's
Always,
around.
almost he's always almost there where he needs to be. Almost all the
Almost.
almost
Almost always there.
almost always there.
And he's never putting in that bone crunching tackle. He's never even pulling on guys or pushing them. Like Goza was getting after it on both sides. He was bugging the guy down his side and he was bugging Jaden Nelson on the backside. Like, get after it, you know? And I don't see that from Gonsalves right now, man. It's kind of sad. It's kind of making me sad.
It's making me really sad too because I had high hopes for him, but I think he's getting way too close to what? To what? What's he getting
The
close to?
Johnny Menendez line. Oh,
Yeah,
no. Say it ain't so. Brennan, what are your thoughts on him?
I don't know, man, because like I don't want to get down on him just like by himself, because it feels like he was brought in to be a Chicho partner, and Chicho's not there, so what he was purchased for isn't the same, I guess. But at the same time, I mean, just you would think if somebody was really concerned about their position, they would work harder. I don't think he's honestly like super focused and like trying to improve. I think he's kind of unhappy where he is. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like when I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking kind of the same thing. My question was if this was anyone other than the designated player, how deep into Pablo Doghouse would they be? Right? It is there's
Yeah.
players that have had played worse and have had less of an impact, or maybe the same amount of impact, and they find themselves not getting minutes. And Diego just keeps starting, keeps starting. I think they're waiting for him to figure it out because he does pop up one, two, three times a game, and boom, he'll pop up. Maybe put the ball on frame. He did have, excuse me, he really did have a great cross late in the first half where they came down the right side and then there was a pass to Gozo. Gozo found Diogo and he sent it across and Pule couldn't find the ball. I mean, like the announcers were talking about, Pule went to the ball instead of making a run straight. If he makes a
Yeah.
run straight, boom, tap in.
Yeah.
And
Or if he makes a run to the back post, either one. Usually that's what you do when you're heading towards goal is you aim for a post because then it's easier to just where you're going, you know where you're aligned, so it's easier to like pick out your spot to score, right? So usually that's what you're coached up to do. But I got a breaking news. Breaking news. Trade proposal. Trade proposal.
okay.
Christian Espinosa. Christian Espinosa from the Quakes comes to Salt Lake for Diogo Gonçalves. Okay, I'm just dreaming, but
And
that would be cool.
5 million in GAM, right? We'd have to
Yeah,
give up all of our GAM.
he can play right back. He can play right back, Christian Espinosa, and he can score goals. It's everything we need. Okay, that's not happening, but that's how I feel right now. Like, play the kids, man. Right?
Yeah,
If this is what we're gonna get a win every other or every 3 games. Like, okay, cool. Play the kids, right? I'd rather see Tyler Wolf in there trying his guts out, getting better every game than our DP not really looking like it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's interesting where we're at right now. I think they're just trying to hold on until Agata and Johnny Russell. I think they could have an impact for the club.
Sure.
It, I think Johnny Russell maybe more than people think, only because he's a veteran. And the club, what I find fascinating too is the club hasn't come apart yet. This game they were getting run off the pitch for the first 30 minutes. They kept fighting back and they created some opportunities, especially late in the first half, and they really should have been tied up or um, the game could have been 3-2 at halftime, right? Because RSL is dangerous going forward. I don't know how Katranis misses that,
Oh, the header.
right? The header.
Oh, and Gozo was ticked, bro. Did you see his reaction to that? I was like,
Oh, yeah.
no!
He thought that thing was going in. All he had to do
Gets
was
to the end line, puts it on a platter.
there was a he had that had to be really technical to miss it that bad.
What?
I'm
No, give him credit, man. That's a tough shot. That's so tough.
He overthought it, though. He overthought it. You know, when the ball gets lofted, you're kind of like, okay, is anybody around? You kind of overthink it, and then he just missed the post by, 6
I,
inches, bro. You
yeah.
gotta put that on frame.
He had half the goal or more. Where if he just pounds it down into the ground or pounds it low, we're tied up 1-1.
Well, and even Pule, where he was, connecting and trying, and then Agata came on and it didn't get better. You know what I mean? It wasn't like all of a sudden we started connecting with our center forward. So maybe it's we're not connecting with our center forward problem instead of, oh, it's Forster, no, it's Ari, no, it's Berea, no, it doesn't matter who we put up there. Nobody's connecting right now.
Yeah, the problem is for RSL is between the boxes or in the boxes, right? They're great in between the boxes. They really haven't given up a ton of goals if you look at it. I mean, there's teams that have given up way more than 17 goals.
Got to
Right.
give it to Rafa Cabral though, because
Yeah.
that's a humongous piece. Is why this is probably the
Oh,
best
crazy.
season as with the goalie we've ever had.
Yeah, I can't take credit for this, but a poster on Big Soccer in the RSL forum, Ivan Sori, he brought this up because I did mention that in one of my posts, is that where would this team be without Cabral? Probably wouldn't win more games, right? But only 4 wins. We might be 2-9 without Cabral. And he did the stats. I'm not a stats guy, but he says across our 12 games, and this is you can go in the RSL forum of Big Soccer. Ivan Sor pointed this out. Across our 12 games this season, our opponents have collected 21.98 expected goals on target. So if we had
Wow.
an average keeper, we would have been scored on 22 times based on the placement of the shot. So Cabral has saved
Wow.
us about 5 goals already, which is probably beyond the average for keepers in Major League Soccer.
Well, in this game, their expected goals were 3.4.
Yeah.
3.4, and we only gave up 2. It's pretty lucky.
Yeah,
That's you're cheating death right there,
So Tyler,
Yep.
though, can I ask you a question, Tyler specifically? Do you think Gozo was tripped in the box?
I was looking at it every single possible way, and I was like, no, he hit his knee. No, he hit his thigh. No, he hit his calf. No, he kicked him with his follow through. Nope, he missed.
There was one angle that I saw that they never came back to count that was I think was from the end line. They really showed that he wasn't close to him. But if you're looking from the outside of the box looking in, there was one where they're trying to look if Kubas got him in the shin. Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. But I like the way the ref handled all of those, right? He went and looked. I think was there more than one that he overturned?
Yeah, the ref wasn't the problem. Vancouver was the problem, man. They're way better than us right now.
They
I
are.
mean, like their backups are better than our front ups. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that's not cool, man. Not cool.
yes, but like I was saying, I was really impressed with the way RSL didn't give up. So there is that. I mean, they could have just come apart, but they stuck together. So the first half ends up 1-0, and really we could have been tied or down 3-1 or 3-2. I mean, Vancouver was just punishing that they're going down their left side. So we were fortunate and almost got out of there tied up at halftime. So we go into halftime 1-0, made it to halftime. So what about orange slices? We giving out any orange slices today?
Go ahead, Brennan.
I guess I gotta give it to I don't even know, man.
A hard one, huh?
Just trying to think of everybody, and it was kind of like it was good, but it wasn't bad. Cabral.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cabral. Orange slice to you.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. And we should probably come up with a stat an expected orange slice stat.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, I think Luna was pushing for an orange slice, but I mean, the Gozo. I gotta give it to Gozo. He was very lively. He was pushing it. He was trying to go at players. He was getting wide. He was cutting inside the channel. I I really think this kid's gonna. I mean, I'm cheering for him, of course. I'm cheering for everybody on the team. It's awesome when, you know, someone that young just plays with that much intensity, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah, I want to see him get some more minutes. Absolutely. I think watching him, I'm thinking, man, how does he's going to put Mark Zuka on the bench. He's going to put somebody on the bench if he continues to play that way with that kind of confidence and, playing within himself. He's not trying to do too much. He's just out there working and doing what he can do. And you know what? He's not a small kid either.
Uh-uh.
He's got a presence out there. So you went with Gozo. Brennan went with Cabral. I was trying to think. Is there only three that deserve? But I think there's three more. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Anelli. I wanted to go with Catranis, but he missed that header. Catranis played really well, minus the header. But I think Anelli was really good in the middle there. He took a lot of abuse. And Ojeda, I thought Ojeda played really well.
Yeah, and I don't know how. I think it was Kubas. I think he had 10 fouls on the night, dude. I think he had all of Vancouver's fouls. Maybe somebody else got one or two, but I think he had 10 fouls at one point. And I was like, how's this guy not got a yellow for all these fouls? Like, there's no persistent infringement. It's like the ref wasn't paying attention to that. It was driving me crazy.
Yeah, I agree on that. He was a machine when it comes to fouls.
Yeah.
So I was trying to. I had another point I wanted to talk about, but Ojeda. Oh, I remember watching the goal because that was a really beautiful goal from Vancouver to go up
Oh,
one.
and Ojeda could have taken him down.
Well, no, I remember thinking when Quentin got the ball because the ball kind of bounced out to him and he kind of took the ball about just over midfield and he drove into the box and I thought, oh, don't go too far. And he went all the way almost to the 18, lost the ball, and then turned around. So he turned the ball over, and Vancouver, I think it was one or two passes they found Nelson, who was wide open again, and he took it 50 yards. And
Well, and Ojeda kind of had a chance to take him down, but I think he would have come off maybe more than just reckless,
well, he was
maybe
already on a
endangering the
yellow too.
safety. He was at that moment?
He got a yellow early, I think.
Oh, maybe he was, but yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, take the yellow, but then I was like, maybe not. But obviously he didn't, and Quentin wasn't there, and Junka didn't slide over,
Well,
and
maybe he
like,
got the yellow after. So yeah, he could have.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah,
He probably should have taken the yellow there. Well, obviously, in hindsight, it's easy to say that, right?
Yeah.
But in the moment, it looked like with Quentin making that run up, he should have taken it, you know?
yeah. Because
But
a minute or two later after the goal, when Jaden got back into the box down there, Ojeda went down and knocked him down and got the yellow. But it was a beautiful goal. He took the ball 50 yards and drove
yeah,
at RSL defense, spun Glad around, you know,
Sweet move. Such a sweet move on Glad though.
and
That's
then
too tough.
and
and
see,
then the shot.
that's
Go ahead, Tyler.
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm worried about with Ojeda right now. I think he's got all the class in the world. He's got hustle. It's just like that last maybe 2%, 3% that you kind of ask of players, but they have to give it. You know what I mean? It's just like Anelli's all in, you can tell, and Ojeda's 95% in. I don't know, something like that, right? Like that next little bit level of just involvement. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's something missing there, but it feels like he's not 100% in.
Like he doesn't want to risk getting a card instead of taking the professional foul or the team foul there and stopping a play when you need to.
Yeah, and then just a few other little hesitations throughout the game where he could have dove in, but he held up. It just, I don't know, maybe it was just he had an off night and it's no big deal, but hopefully that doesn't continue. You know what I mean? Hopefully he gets less and less connected, kind of like Gonçalves is. So that worries me too. If that domino falls, and then if Ojeda starts, being discontented, I would hate to see that,
Yeah. But like I
But
say, yeah, it was
7 losses in 11 games will do that, right?
yeah, and we'll see what happens. You know, Dallas isn't that great of a team at the moment. They are above us in the standings. We have the same amount. I think we have 4 wins. They have 4 wins, but they've got 3 draws instead of seven losses. So,
Well,
uh,
and the nice part is we get to play Vancouver again this month. Hooray!
oh yeah, yeah. Vancouver is just really good. I love the way they play. They brought in a coach from Norway or Finland or somewhere up there. It's his first season, and he came in with the attitude. I think he was coaching a Brøndby too, but he came in and he didn't really. He told the players, "I don't have an opinion. This is according to the broadcast, and we're just going to play." He didn't want to know anything about the players. Have a kind of form of opinion before he came. Say, "Hey, all right, let's." It's a blank slate. Let's move forward, and they are really good. They've got some great players. Brian White, the guy that RS was on RSL's list to try and pick up in the offseason, 11 goals. 11 goals this season already in 16.
Yeah.
He's got 6 in a Major League Soccer play, and I think he's got 5 or vice versa, 5 in MLS and 6 goals in CONCACAF Champions.
And they didn't even need him to beat us.
No.
They played their backup guy who kicked he didn't do anything. He missed a penalty, right?
Oh yeah, Daniel Rios. That's another point. That was not a bad penalty take.
No, it was a great penalty save.
It was,
That was
man.
a
That was
Yeah.
a big
Yep.
big pass. So and that was in the second half. What are your thoughts on that one? Was that a penalty?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because he comes out and he does get the ball. So you want to say he got the ball, so it's not really a foul. But lately when I was growing up, when I was playing, no penalty. You touch the ball at all, no penalty, right? You're good. You're good. I touched the ball. But you kind of have to win the ball now, right? And so he didn't really win the ball. He just kind of hit it and then smashed the player, right? And I think that's why it ended up a penalty.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being a penalty. I agree with you though. I think if he's able to get his hands on the ball and wrap up the ball, it's not a penalty because the player Ocampo could have jumped over.
Or he could have held up and let the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, but he kind of did the thing where the opportunity was presented to him and he took it. He probably could have jumped over, but I think it comes down to if Cabral grabs the ball, it's not a penalty. But
Yep, agree.
but in the end, the soccer gods were on our side for a change, and he thumped that penalty kick too, and Cabral got his mid up there and kept us in the game.
Catrona slid in, knocked it out. You love him
was,
coming in hard like that.
There was 2 RSL players that were in there. I think it was Rios was coming in, or someone else from Vancouver, and they kept the ball from going in. And then talk about the second goal. What was going on the RSL defense on the second goal? Tyler, Brennan, anybody want
to? It was such a good. It's one of those goals where you wish your team scored it because it was so quick. It was in between when people would usually set up or get a better look at the goal. And for him to just kind of like one time it and have it go where it did, it's just like, congratulations. Like that's not high percentage in any way. This is a great goal.
And a center back.
Just this,
just smashing it, right? Like it's frustrating on our side, but on their side, it's like, what a banger!
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a corner kick and the ball bounced out and they recycled it real quick. But RSL kind of just like abandoned that side of the field, and it ended up over there. He sends it in. There was nobody over there, if I remember right.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about with our defensive structure. Like, who's how do we get so disorganized when the ball pops out like that? Like, who's supposed to be covering that? Somebody's supposed to be wide. Somebody's supposed to be inside. There's 2 guys that should have been there. What? Nobody's there. I don't know. I don't do set pieces. I don't know who does the set pieces where, but apparently we don't know that either. on the defensive side.
And when he took it, it was a nice shot. I thought, oh, that sailed over. And I went, wait a second, that went in. Holy cow! It was a great goal. Good for him, center back. You always feel for the center backs, especially when they're getting a goal with their feet, right?
Yeah, I'm just worried we got so thoroughly dominated in that game. Hopefully it's just one we can toss out and move on from, but man, we didn't win any facet of that game. We didn't even win possession. We didn't win shots. We didn't win shots on goal. We didn't win total. I think we won total passes. No, they did. No. And passing, no, not passing accuracy. Corners? No. Crosses? No. We won in offside. There it is.
Well, I'm usually probably the one that's a little more negative and worried about the club than the two of you. And after the game, I felt pretty good because I love the fact that RSL didn't quit. I know that's, unicorns and rainbows or looking
Super
at,
silver lining there, Brandt, but
yeah,
yeah,
but
I like
they
that too.
they had a chance to steal a point there finally at the end. Um, there was the penalty that was called. I think that's the other penalty. I think that's a penalty
Glad got stomped. Yeah.
because he got stomped and he was going up to jump and the ball landed. He might not have got to it, but he
Right.
was denied the opportunity to get there. And another good call by VAR, get it in there. I think the RSL got ripped off by a few more minutes, a minute or two. It took so long to get the VAR call right. I think they could have gone another minute, but at the end of the game,
Yeah, stoppage time is so weird. It's like half the refs like stopwatch it like down to the second, and the other half are like, oh, it was about a minute, and it was like four. They're just bad
yeah,
at estimating time. Like, I don't get it, man. It's like off so much. But don't worry, it's globally. It's not just ours.
so and Luna stepped up. Luna stepped up and uh, great penalty take. I
Yep.
liked it. He just walked up, keeper went the wrong way, and he slotted it in. And RSL went at. The only thing I was disappointed in, I think they panicked. They were trying to just get the ball in the box, get the ball in the box. When after that goal, once they got the ball, a little more composure. That's where like a DP with some experience might come in and say, hey,
Should have come in and put his foot
and
on the ball and get a
dominated
foul
the
or
ball for a
two.
minute and
Uh-huh.
forced got the ball into dangerous areas, forced Vancouver to foul, get a free kick or two in the last minute or so. So that's probably the only thing that was the biggest disappointment for me at the end of the game was the fact that they played well enough not to get blown out. They were lucky a little bit, I'll grant you that. But they played well enough in the second half by not quitting to give themselves an opportunity to steal a point, which would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Then they just kind of panicked at the end when they had the opportunity,
You
which
know
is
what this
back to
you know what
this.
this game needed?
What does
It
need?
needed our homeboy Nick Beasler to come in the 90th minute, put his foot on the ball, win a free kick, and not at home in the end. Beast, where you at, man? Oh man.
So I don't know if we.
Apparently Johnny Russell was on the bench, but he wasn't available.
Yeah,
He
I
made
think
the trip, but
he's
he wasn't in the 18.
well. He's 47 years old, and
Oh, he's not either.
he's 35, and he hasn't been playing. So I think they were mentioned they perhaps we'll see him get some minutes in Dallas.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Hey, can we go after Jamie Vardy?"
It wasn't. I saw a rumor he was going to sign somewhere else already. He was
Well,
leaving Leicester, and was Man U looking at him?
No.
Well, the
Somebody.
problem with him is he's 38 and he's still kept scoring goals for Leicester. Like he's a club legend there, man. He's the guy who stuck it out when all the other players left after they won the league. Like he's always going to be the first person people think of when they think of remember that year that Leicester won the title. Anyway, he's 38, so he's not coming to MLS
No.
and doing well. Like it's not going to happen.
So RSL
Anyway.
ends the game 2-1, a lot closer than it should have been. And you're absolutely right. They just got dominated all over the place, but they hung in there and they didn't quit. And so that's damning with faint praise for sure. But I think I expect them to play well in Dallas.
So I do want to go back to how we started, and I do want to kind of follow up and say, do you play your best players even if they're out of position? because I think that was the major difference in the game was playing Glad at right back, Junka at left center back. But that's kind of what we're stuck with right now with Vera out, right? I mean, Sam's played some center back, but it's not our best lineup, right?
Well, weren't they afraid? They had to know Jaden Nelson was going to be over there. And that guy is lightning quick. And Justin Glad, probably the only player on the team that could keep up with him on the defense.
Right, but there's other things you can do tactically, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
body up. Yeah.
well, right, but who's our best right back?
Philip Quinton.
We don't. Yeah, exactly. We don't have. That's.
Anelli, probably, right?
Oh, I think Anelli would have been abused too over there because if like the going off what the commentator said, RSL was allowing the game to be that spread out all the time.
And that's our fault, yeah.
Yeah, so they could have compacted brought some more defense over there and let the other side of the field go, right? And brought in some more players, kind of like what they did to Diego Luna. Luna gets the ball, there's 3 people around all the time. So RSL didn't make any tactical changes, essentially, in the first half, it looked like, to really make it difficult on Jaden Nelson. And I don't know I think that would be the only thing that they could have done to make a difference was put more people over there.
Yeah, or slide, or keep the right mid, like Gozo, keep him back more, right? And when the game's still to be had, I think you give Gozo that freedom to run. So yeah, it's tough, but would you rather play the best players out of position, or do you think at this stage you just put your best 4 out there and hopefully they get there?
Well, I think that's all you can do now. I mean, the nice thing would be to have an MLS starting quality right back on your club.
Yeah, because who's next? Aliscan? Like, if you're looking at the bench, the guys who made the bench, that's not it.
Yeah,
right?
We could go on. I could go on all day about the fact that RSL doesn't have a quality average MLS quality starting right back, and it's kind of a shame.
It's crazy,
I think
though.
if you put Anelli there, you do, but then you pull him out of the midfield and our team gets worse, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know that Anelli's quick enough to play the way they want their backs to play, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So,
Could
but
be.
it turned out RSL lost 2-1. They got beat by the best team in the league, and they didn't let the game get turned into 5-0 like San Diego over Dallas. So not much to hang your hat on. There's so much to talk about the roster that you don't have a DP. You could sign a DP, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens and hope that they don't get too far away from that last playoffs.
Well, and a couple other things that people forget. Kobe Henry's a defender. He's out. Matthew Bell's a defender. He's out. He's kind of a midfielder, defender, right-sided player, right? Someone was saying throw Nelson Palacio in at right back. I'm like, that's not his position.
Well,
He's not going to thrive there.
Got a turnover.
Yeah, he is not going to do well there. Bodie Hidalgo was out on a red card, even though, that's debatable too, his red card. Right? So
Wow.
dumb.
I think Bodie Hidalgo might have earned a red card trying to defend against Jaden
Oh,
oh
yeah, he would look way worse than Glad would have, man.
There was no
They're
way
like,
that would work. Oh man.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure why, but I feel I need to red card you, man. Hit the showers, kid.
He's doing the real tackle from behind on Jaden. Yeah.
Dude, it's so frustrating when your right back can't handle the man in front of him and you got to cover the whole rest of it. I've played center back enough games to be like, dude, that's so frustrating, it's tough.
That goes back to what?
Next backup, Zach Farnsworth. He's more of a left-sided player. Tommy Silva is on the roster. He can play right back. He probably is the next man up. Probably should have made the trip. Maybe he's not playing well. I don't know. Luis Rivera can play some right back. Jude Wellings now. Gov is more left-sided, right? Or is he right-sided? Either way, those guys just probably aren't MLS ready, according to Pablo.
Yeah.
But maybe you call them up and give them a shot and see what happens. That's what we did with Brooks Lennon and Aaron Herrera back in the day, right? And they turned out to be pretty good pros.
Yeah, and Xavier Gozo looks like Xavier Gozo is gonna make it incredibly hard for Pablo to keep him on the bench.
There you go.
Got to avoid the doghouse. So RSL down 2-1. They lost to the best team in Major League Soccer at the moment. They're really, really good. So moving
Yeah,
on.
I hope they beat Cruz Azul.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. I'll be rooting for Vancouver, even though I am a latent Cruz Azul fan. I haven't followed them as much as I used to. But it is time for Come On Crawley update. I don't have my black armband. I'm sorry. Crawley Town did go in. They did win the last game of the season to Shrewsbury, but alas, it was not enough. On Tuesday, Burton got a point, and that's all they needed. Even though Danilo Orsi tried to help Crawley Town out, he scored late to tie the game up, but couldn't get that second goal for who was he played for? Can't remember. But Burton picked up the point. Crawley Town ended up got the standings here somewhere. Ended up
41st place. Oh, 21st.
46 points. Burton 47 points. Burton actually had one less victory than Crawley. Crawley had 12 victories. Burton had 11. But they had 3 more ties than we had 10. So, and it just comes down to the games you don't expect. Crawley Town had a game where they were up 3-1 and lost 4-3. They were up 4-1 and tied the game 4-4 on a couple of games. So back to League Two next season. They've got a commitment. Scott Lindsay's going to be back. Scott Lindsay actually won more games I think it was in the 17 games that he coached that we figured out, versus the 29 games that Rob Elliott coached. Scott Lindsay had 6. I think he had 7 of the 12 wins.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a great job. So we're back to League Two. But I think we'll be back quickly up to League One or have a decent season. But that's what you get when you have to suffer through promotion relegation. And I was thinking about it, how different would the Premier League look if they had playoffs at the end, right? Especially in a season like this, it has been so boring. It's the most boring Premier League season I think I've ever seen. Yes, no. I mean, you got Tottenham, Man City, they're down below Everton. Arsenal is doing their best to stay in second place. Liverpool winning the league with less than 90 points so far.
Yeah. And 2 through 5 is pretty tight, right? 67 to 61 is Nottingham Forest right now. And even Villa's at 60 points. Arsenal keep tying and then of their last 5 games, they've only won 1, which is weird for a club like that was in good form. Now they're putting all their eggs in the Champions League and gave up an early goal to PSG, and now they got to go to France and beat them. So there's that side, and then there's the Arsenal or the Barcelona and Milan side. They tied 3-3. Really entertaining game. Go look up those highlights. That was cool. So
yeah. The most interesting thing is, who's gonna, fall to the Europa Cup in 6th place, or who's going to jump up to the Champions League. It's going to come down to Man City, who are playing better. They're never going to get punished. Newcastle, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Villa. And then after that, it's just been really weird season in the Premier League. It hasn't been that exciting, to be totally honest. The bottom 3 were just terrible. No one had to worry about relegation after December, I think.
Yeah. Crazy. And yet Man United can still win a cup and call it a decent season if they can win the what is that one called again?
Is that the Europa? Is that against Tottenham?
It could be. There's still another.
Yeah, I think there's still.
There are 4 teams left.
Yeah, we're doing good. We might be able to lift a trophy. I mean, I don't know about Arsenal, but Man, you can still lift a trophy. It's a win, baby.
But wouldn't it be funny if the year Mbappe left PSG, they went in and won the Champions League, and they lost in Madrid, right? Take that, Mbappe. Anyway.
Oh, we were talking about
Jamie the only Vardy. Silver lining.
We were talking about Jamie Vardy. Did you see the highlight from Jamie Vardy over the weekend?
Yeah, where he blew the ref's whistle.
No
Yeah,
way.
so the ref was coming up, and there was this big dude that was coming back, and they kind of collided, and the ref,
Yeah.
his head hit the guy's shoulder, and it kind of knocked him down, and he fell down, and then the ball went the other way, and nobody really saw it except Vardy. So he ran over and grabbed the ref's hand and pulled it up to his mouth and went like
And
and
then
stopped play.
walked off.
Then he just walked away. And then one of the guys from Southampton came up and was like, "Hey, you okay, man?" It was like cool, and it was like a 10-minute delay.
Yeah, he caught he wasn't looking, and he just caught that player's shoulder right on the chin and knocked him down.
Yeah, he subbed out too. Fourth official came in.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt. So, well, thank you for listening, and everyone that supports us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to all of our social media. We're working hard to bring you more content, and we can't thank you enough for listening. So, with that, you guys have any parting thoughts before I say we're done? Good night.
Sucks to
See
be
you
a
later.
Crawley fan.
Ah, it does. It does. Oh man.
Painful.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hang in there, man. You got this.
Yep. Should be exciting off season. At least I know they got a right back. Hey, thanks for listening. We'll see you later.
See ya.